What is up guys, Kenpachi here, bringing you guys a quick little Zul Farrak spellcleave tutorial. Now the comp we're running this time is 4 mages and 1 priest. Unlike Scarlet Monastery and Blackrock Depths, I prefer 4 mages and Zul Farrak because you don't really need the Eye of Kilrog to pull anything. So similar to Scarlet Monastery, you should have plenty of food and water as well as mana gems in case things go wrong. Now coordinate the Nova order with the other mages, and then you should have 1 mage designated to pull the initial mobs. If you're the mage that's pulling, you should be sure to use Ice Barrier and Mana Shield and wait for your priest to power word shield you. Now once all of these shields are up, follow the pathing that I do. This will help you minimize damage and you should be full HP after the pull. And when you pull these mobs and get to right around the boxes, you want to Ice Block right after the power word shield or Ice Barrier fall off. Try to avoid taking damage with Mana Shield so you have more mana to AoE down the mobs once you exit the Ice Block. Now, the other mages and the priest should not cast any shields or do any damage until the caster mobs run up to the ice block. This will help you group them much more effectively. After all of the mobs have grouped around the ice block, then it's time to blizzard them down. The mage who pulled should then exit the ice block only after losing aggro from these mobs. And then you should Nova them all. This will be the first Nova. Blink away, and then blizzard from there, and then from there, you just Nova in the designated order. Now, I found it much more effective to burn down the mobs with Cone of Cold and Arcane Explosion spam as opposed to only spamming Blizzard, although this does have a lot more room for error and could cause wipes with teams unfamiliar with playing at this distance. Now, after burning down the initial mobs, follow the pathing that I use to skip some of the patrols and trash mobs. This next part varies from group to group, but I found it much easier to group up on this hill, have everyone shield and mount up, and then run together as a group. Whoever's in front, if your shield falls off, don't be afraid to fall back and let someone with a fresh shield take the lead. This will make the trip that much safer, and if anyone gets dismounted, you have 4 mages that can attempt to save them with Novas and Blinks. Now, when you get to the graveyard, jump into this cheesy little spot that will de-aggro all of the mobs. And there are actually a few of these spots, but this is the one that I found to be the most commonly used. Once the mobs de-aggro, typically the person who pulled the first group and 1 other mage will open the graves for this next part. So for this next part, 2 mages will be selected to open the graves. Typically, you use Ice Barrier and Mana Shield, and then wait for the priest to power word shield both the mages. Now when both the mages are ready, you start to open the graves from opposite ends, and then meet in the middle. Meanwhile, the other mages should be pre-blizzing the middle where they meet. The mages will Nova in the designated order, and then rinse and repeat this process for the 2 remaining sets of graves. The boss is optional, but it does drop good caster gloves and staff. After this, make your way to the Scarab Room. This pull can be done with 1 or 2 mages. Just follow the same general guidelines for the graves, and when you're done with the scarabs, shield, mount, group up, and get ready to run back to the entrance to reset. follow the same procedure as running to the graveyard. Stay close together. If your shield falls off, let someone else take the charge, and then just rinse and repeat. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this was helpful, please do like the video. If you guys want to stay up to date with my content, feel free to subscribe. And I do have a Blackrock Depth spell cleave coming out soon. I only got one run in so far, but it was a pretty smooth one, so that should be going up pretty soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
On our own, we jump, we fall, forgotten world. We're running out, running out, running out now. Won't hide away anymore like yesterday, 'cause we're running out now. You can see it in our eyes, and we won't look away. This time we're here to stay. So we're running out now. We're fighting, we collide, crashing every day. And if you feel afraid, we won't leave you. We won't leave you. Time has come to stand our ground and close the door to paralyze stereotype fucked up minds. Every day there's a choice where to go, and you can turn it around. You can see it in our eyes, and we won't look away. This time we're here to stay. So we're running out now. We're fighting, we collide, crashing every day. And if you feel afraid, we won't leave you. We won't leave you. There's a man sitting next to you with a scarf around his head, and when it's down to the last end, he could be the one that saves you. And there's a woman driving in the car, and she talking her phone when you're crossing the street, and she could be the one that kills you.